Welcome, and here we go again. Now, it's been a while since I've done a video actually, but I'm here today because something very important happened yesterday in the Doctor Who universe. Yes, the long-awaited Series 12 of Doctor Who trailer debuted. And it gave us our first look at the series. We didn't know next to nothing about the series until now, besides stuff that had been spoiled through rumours and speculation, but we have our first look at the show in a minute-long trailer that gives us a lot of info, that gives us a lot to talk about, and today I've got a trailer breakdown here for you. There's been a lot of news over the last couple of weeks, and I haven't covered it because we knew this trailer was coming today, or we knew something was coming yesterday, sorry, and well, I wanted to wait until now to discuss it, and hopefully we should have a few videos coming up for you soon as we near into the December point. And now we're getting to the point where there's lots of news, there's the trailer, we've got a lot to talk about relating to Series 12, and we believe it's starting on New Year's Day, so it's great that we're finally going to have some stuff to talk about. If you haven't watched the trailer yet, please go and watch it now, because I don't have the technology to air it on here. So please go and watch it if you haven't already, and I'm going to break it down for you in a minute. First of all, I'm going to say that I didn't react to the trailer on here because, first of all, I didn't think the trailer would be very interesting, and I thought my reaction wouldn't be very interesting and maybe disappointing, because the cafe trailer was the last reaction I did, and that didn't go too well because it was very boring. But I would say that it is not a bad trailer, and I do wish I'd reacted to it now, but I didn't. You know, I'm not gonna sit down there and pretend it's my first watch of the trailer, but it was completely the opposite of what the Series 11 trailers were. The Series 11 trailers didn't give us action, didn't give us a look at the monsters, new and old, because there weren't old monsters. You didn't get excitement, you didn't get a sense of threat and suspense and a story arc and all that stuff. But this was a great trailer. This is everything a Doctor Who trailer should be. This gives me more promise for Series 12, which I didn't have any promise before. And that's coming from me. I didn't like the Series 11 trailers. They didn't excite me for the series. I was just excited already and let down. Those trailers didn't add to my excitement. This added to my excitement a lot. I wasn't looking forward to this series at all. I was dreading it. And I'm still trying not to keep my hopes too high after last year. But this makes me think it'll be a lot more interesting, because this feels like Doctor Who, this trailer. This trailer was better than anything Series 11 did, and it just works on so many levels. There's so many great moments, there's so many things to dissect. I could discuss it for quite a while. I'm not going to, because I don't want to cut into your time too much. I just want to have a brief, quick trailer breakdown, and please leave your thoughts of the trailer in the comments below. I'll also try and do a video which is probably a bit more detailed, which will be released soon, which is my episode by episode guide. I'll try to keep this one spoiler free, and then the next one will be a bit more spoilery with some information that you might not want to hear if you're allergic to spoilers, let's say. So let's start off with where the trailer begins. So the trailer opens up in a vineyard, which is from episode 1 of the show, which is a big spy-based, unit-based, James Bond action thriller, which should be really exciting. There's a lot of it in the trailer. I think most of the trailer's footage is from the first 2 episodes, which is normal for the first trailer they release for a series. I don't see them releasing a big trailer like this again. Maybe like a shorter one, like a half-a-minute trailer. But as the series is beginning on New Year's Day, it seems a bit too late for them to do another trailer. It just doesn't seem like they would. They haven't done any teaser trailers this year, so I doubt we get another trailer, and that's fine. I think this is enough. I think this gives us all the information we need. Last year we didn't have enough in the trailer. They didn't show us enough. They didn't show us anything that proved that it would be gripping or exciting, because it wasn't. So here at least we've got more action, and it looks slightly more fun. It looks like it won't be as much of a drag as it was last year. So the first line of the trailer is, "My name's Doctor, the Doctor," echoing James Bond's iconic quote. And we just cut to lots of shots from the first episode, really. We don't know what the monster for the first episode is yet. It may have been seen in this first episode. We don't know whether there is a monster. We saw Lenny Henry shooting a golden gun at the Doctor and the fam. I hate that. I wish we didn't have to say that, but we do, so I'm going to. So Lenny Henry could be a villain. Stephen Fry's in the first few shots of the trailer, and he seems like a good guy, to be honest. He seems like he's recruiting the Doctor. We've heard that Unit will be in this episode. As I say, I'm going to do an episode-by-episode guide soon, which should give you a little bit of a more in-depth look at what to expect Series 12-wise, but Unit's apparently going to pop up. They're not seen in the trailer. Kate Stewart's apparently meant to pop up. She's not seen in the trailer, but I doubt they'd reveal that now. So we see 13 and the fam in tuxes quite a lot of the time. We believe episodes 1 and 2 are meant to be very closely connected. And I've got a theory about what that's going to mean later on. They say there's a cliffhanger. There's a few things teasing towards what a cliffhanger could be. It seems pretty obvious to me what the cliffhanger might be. So then we see a meteorite flying towards Earth, and then a laser aiming towards Earth, and I have no idea what episodes those are from. We see a creature in like a cage. It looks a bit like a Hoix from the story Love and Monsters, but although they appeared in Chibnall's Torchwood Series 2 finale Exit Wounds, I doubt we'll get the Hoix in this series. It would be great, though, to have some more obscure villains. As well, there's some villains which people are saying look like the Vardens, who are the villains in the Tom Baker story Invasion of Time, and that would be cool, too. I'd really like some obscure villains to return, like when Alpha Centauri returned in Empress of Mars, or when the Macra appeared in Gridlock. I'm a bit bored of Daleks and Cybermen now, so a bit of a variation would be quite cool. The Doctor's then wearing goggles, and then there's a quote by her. She seems to be standing next to a woman in a historical episode, still wearing a tux, so this is definitely episode 2, which is set, as we find out later, in Paris 1943. More details about that next time. She says, "I'm not where I wanted to be, but I can work with this." So it seems like this loosely connected two-parter. She's on some sort of mission to, as the team become spies in episode 1, and they find themselves in another spy place about 80 years earlier, and they have to probably solve something. They're probably in the middle of what they're trying to solve in the future. So they're trying to uncover a mystery, and then they go back in time, and then that mystery happens. That would be quite good, and it would make it a loosely connected two-parter, but it would still be a two-parter, and I think two-parters are needed. And then we cut to Jadoon, the Jadoon ship. We knew the Jadoon were returning. I'm not too ecstatic about the Jadoon returning, but it's good. I'm glad. I think it was pretty obvious we were going to get shots of them in a trailer, but it was good that we got to see them here. There's the Rachnos type creature. I believe it's not a Rachnos, though. Lots of people have been saying it is a Rachnos. It's the Rachnos is from Runaway Bride, the David Tennant story. It'd be cool if it did return, but I believe it is Anjali Mahindra who played Rani in the Sarah Jane Adventures. She's playing Queen Stithka or something, and that's in episode 4, which is also the episode where Goran Vishnik plays Nikola Tesla, who is you'll find out more about him in my episode by episode guide. In episode 4 again, you see Yaz being chased by a spider creature through Victorian New York. Then we cut back to episode 1, there's a car chase sequence. And then in an episode which I can't pinpoint, Graham and 13 are both wearing helmets. Maybe it could be the chameleon arc, which we saw in the David Tennant era in Series 3, which changes a person's biology to make them believe they're... In the Doctor's case, he believed he was human for a couple of episodes, and the Master too, so that should be interesting if it is a chameleon arc. It could just be some new contraption. There's a motorbike chase through Vineyard, as I said, Lenny Henry. Then we cut to Paris, 1943. Here's when things get really interesting in the trailer. Something's coming for me, the Doctor says. Then let it come, Ryan responds. We're mates, says Yaz. Family, replies Graham. And the Doctor pulls down the lever. There's some really interesting shots in there. First of all, we see Yaz's police career. We know that she is going to get quite a lot of attention this series. She's going to get more development, which is good because she didn't have any at all in Series 11 for some bizarre reason. So we get to see more about her police job that they somehow forgot about last series, and there's going to be more development for her, particularly in the Jadoon episode, I believe, as well as probably the Noor Inayat Khan episode, which is episode 2. Cybermen. We see the Cybermen in that bit when she says something's coming for me. And we didn't know the Cybermen were returning. Chibnall said in some kind of interview thing at a Sheffield alumni thing that he was bringing back the Cybermen, and we'd seen them on set, but we hadn't seen the proper design officially or in any good quality because the images we saw were blurry. And these are different. They seem to be more like the old Cybermen, where they actually have human body parts, so they have a human arm. And apparently the episode 8, which is the Cyberman one, is meant to be really scary, so hopefully it's a behind the sofa type episode. So that was really exciting to see the Cybermen. I was really pleased. I think if we did the reaction, I wasn't expecting them to pop up. If I did the reaction, you would have seen my face light up at that point. There's a bat-type creatures, and then there's ghost-like creatures, and then there's gas mask-wearing monsters. I can't allocate an episode yet, but they're all pretty cool monsters. I'm glad we got a look at the monsters. They all look interesting. The most interesting monster in the trailer is a creature that could travel through walls, including the TARDIS. The Doctor, Yaz says, I thought nothing could get into the TARDIS, and the Doctor says, neither did I. Yaz actually does more in this trailer than she did in Series 11 as a whole. So the Doctor, that's really interesting. So a creature that can travel through the TARDIS. We've never seen that before. We've seen monsters in the TARDIS, but we've never seen anything that can get into the TARDIS without, by getting through the doors without them being open already. So the next bit, 13 runs towards Yaz, I think it's Yaz, who's sort of drowning in water. We believe this is the environmental episode, which is episode 5, and it will tackle the themes of climate change and will feature the return of the sea devils. And will also feature those bat-like creatures. And then there's a lot of shots. There's an explosion. There's lots of explosions in this. Yaz is crying, I think. We don't know why, we don't know what episode it's from, but she's crying, which is interesting. And then there's lots of panic. They seem to be on an airplane. They seem to be crashing. I think that's going to be the cliffhanger to episode 1. The airplane crashes, and then somehow they travel through time, back to 1940 through some sort of time thing, and then they'll have to solve that spy mystery. That's my theory. We'll see anyway. Time will tell, and I'll have a more I'll have a look at each individual episode and what's going to happen in that very soon. Thank you for watching anyway. I hope it hasn't been too boring. I hope you enjoyed the trailer. Please leave your thoughts in the comments. It's a very exciting trailer. It made me more hopeful for Series 12. However, I'm trying not to get my hopes up. So fingers crossed it'll be good. But obviously I'll let you know when we get more details, when there's anything interesting enough to debate. And I'll give my thoughts on writers and directors and guest stars and all that next video. So, I will see you next time, same space. Goodbye.